Matt starts off, Matt.
Mike, obviously a disappointing night. You started off promisingly after their 8-0 start. You got the 10-0 run, but then after that, it all unravelled a bit for you.
Give them a lot of credit. The defensive pressure up the floor. We kind of knew what they were going to do here at home. But definitely the energy up the floor. Pressure kind of turns guys inwards a little bit, and you start to make some plays that way. It was hard for us to get the clean looks. It was hard for us to get the ball from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor. You give them a lot of credit for the pressure on the ball. You just wish you kind of had a little bit different offensive rhythm. And then, defensively, that's still a learning process for our team. Trying to get to the three-point line. Even just the level of physicality that we need to have on the road and on the defensive end. But the groups, we're still I know it's hard after a game like this, and everybody in there is disappointing, but there are things that are happening out there where we're improving. Just not enough of them tonight against a really good team at home.
Did they catch you off guard with that speed? I was just incessant from start to finish.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think that how well they've been playing lately and how well they've been playing at home. You just need to get into some a little bit more of a rhythm offensively. They disrupted that. Give them credit for what they did. And then we've got to have the maturity enough to be able to handle that and get to the position and the spots and get the guys that we want to have the ball in certain areas of the floor, and we couldn't do that collectively today.
Is 26% from three the byproduct of that, from their intensity?
Yeah, I mean, you actually want to have more shot attempts from three. You want to have more makes from three, right? But yes, that's the pressure up the floor. That's, I'd have to see the breakdown of what we had as in off the dribble threes, second side threes, spot threes, that kind of breakdown, which I can't tell you what it is right now. I'm guessing that it's probably not the percentage that we want.
And conversely, they shot 41%, so
yeah.
Is that a bit of a breakdown of your defense?
Yeah, you give them a lot of credit, especially when they bring Matt Hurt to the five. He changes the offense out there a little bit, but it was really the guards and their initial thrust up the floor. I thought they played with great pace. Give Walton and Sobey and Foxwell and those guys a lot of credit. I'll put Glover in there too. And then, when Hurt picks and pops, and you got to have great communication. You got to get all the way back to him. Whoever's closing on him, he's really good at the kind of the almost like a Bill Laimbeer type long shot fake, foot fake, and then he gets into his rhythm, and you got to try to disrupt that. Obviously, we didn't get the job done.
You're 1-6 on the road this year. How do you feel as your connectivity is as a team on the road? Is there any signs that would say it's different to how you play at home?
Yeah, we're still in this really weird stage at this point of the year because we've had guys out and guys coming back, and we still have guys out, and there are growing signs of us growing. It's just a little bit more painful than we would like it to be right now. Kendrick's had some effective games, and boy, Trez has had some effectiveness, and I give Ice a lot of credit for staying in there and what he did, and yet, there's been some rhythm and stuff with some of our younger players, and I thought they had some good looks in the first half. We talk about 0.5 reads, we talk about, shooting it with confidence and all that kind of things, and they missed. Open shots, they missed some. I don't want to sit here and ever second guess guys' open shots. That goes down a dangerous road with players. I want them playing fast. I want them playing with confidence. We'll continue to build on this. And the biggest thing for us now is to go home and protect home court against Brisbane and try to get that win.
Mike, you mentioned not being able to sort of find those open looks in the pace out this Melbourne tonight. What sort of went wrong on the offensive end for you from your perspective?
Well, I mean, I don't know if anything went wrong. I'm not sure about that terminology right there. You'd like to be able to flow into your offense and get the ball going from one side to another with, an early paint break and a touch and moving the defense a little bit. But, that's what pressure does, right? And with young guys, they're growing and they're learning, and That's always going to be part of it. Even with Kendrick, he's a young player. He's only been a pro one other year. I think he is improved from our first game to now like 10 times over. He's doing some really, really good things out there. But our group is still in this formation stage, and we're missing some wings that have a lot of experience at times in DJ and Sunday, and some other guys are getting some really, really valuable reps. And, would you like it to be a little smoother? Would you like it to be a little bit cleaner? Sure. But, the things that Keanu and Nick and Ladd are doing out there, and they're really trying to fight, and they're trying to do the right things, and, everybody trying to be on the page to help them is what we got to get to, and that's my job.
How do you try to slow that pace of South East Melbourne's down?
Well, obviously, I don't have the answer.
Can you talk us through, the guys like Kendrick and obviously Montrez coming back from suspension? Do you feel like, the group's still finding their rhythm after those guys coming back, and someone like Keanu Rasmussen's been phenomenal taking that step up this season?
Yeah, that's what I just kind of said, to be honest with you. The group's still forming, this deep into the season. We're getting ready to hit a heavy part. We're still growing. We're still trying to figure it out. We got guys in a little bit different roles. We're still connecting. At times, it looks really, really good. I give them credit there in the third and hanging in, and we cut it all the way back to a 12, and they come out and throw another punch at us. But we have fought. We have tried to do some things, but it's all on the defensive end. That's where the things got to set, especially on the road games, and that's where we got to be better at.
So obviously returning home for Christmas Eve against Brisbane in front of your amazing home crowd at the entertainment centre. How important is your crowd going to be, and especially to celebrate hopefully a Christmas present on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, we love playing at Adelaide. We love playing in front of our home fans. Our record has been really, really good there. Every team in this league has a huge advantage at home. That's the hard thing in this 29-game season. Every arena that we've been in has been a sellout. It's been great, also really, really hard. And us playing at home, it's a huge part of us, and we've played well at home. We've got to go home and take care of that. We know that role players always play better at home. That's what you saw tonight from them too here. And we've got to just go home, and we got to get that win on Christmas Eve. That's the most important thing right now, is this, season starts to really turn into the meat of the year.
Mike, in that first half, there were probably at least 3 fairly egregious missed foul calls at the bucket.
Yeah.
I know that you're upset by it, Trez was upset, KD as well. How do you try and find that balance between playing through that stuff and the frustration where you've got players that feel like they've been fouled and stand there watching while fingers go up the other end to get you a bucket?
Yeah, I mean, it's always one of the hardest things, right? I think as a young team and with some young players out there too, and you feel like those things affected the game, but the aggressive team gets the call or not gets the call. I don't think we can ever sit here and second guess or this or that or whatever. We tried to get downhill. We didn't have the collective resolve that we really needed to have to get that call. Our officials do a great job. It's a hard job. Guys are flying around, and everybody in this league plays so hard and so physical that, you really got to accent like where the foul is. And that's trying to drive in a straight line, and that's trying to be at the rim and finish with strength, and you got to finish in the air through contact in this league. And I know I'm working the officials, and I'm trying to help my guys as much as I can on that. That's really not going to probably sway us one way or the other, but our guys really, really, I thought, tried to compete. They're a strong physical team, but give them credit. We're never in this reason because of official non-call or whatever. I'm just trying to fight for my guys in the moment. I thought our guys did a good job of hanging in there, and I thought Southeast played really good.
Have you got an indicator on when you'll have DJ and Sunday back?
I don't. That's the medical guys. We'll wait and see. And, hamstrings are always tricky, right? And especially when we've got a lot of games. And whenever they give me the green light that they'll be back, we'll welcome them with open arms. And in the meantime, these guys are gaining valuable minutes and possessions and road and home and all these other things. And, it's only going to make us better. We got to just get a win at home on Christmas Eve now at this point to kind of keep pace.
As a coach, do you have a worry about keeping afloat in this period without those two guys? I mean, they are very important to what you do, and you could see tonight that the finish just had so many bodies just to keep chucking at you and keep playing that press.
Yeah.
KD he looked stuffed at times as he was coming back up trying to just navigate.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about keeping afloat?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, we're just trying to win the next game at this point. That's the focus, and it always is, right? I mean, win or lose, you try to turn your focus to the things that you did good, and then the things that you need to teach and correct, and move the group forward. And we played Brisbane not long ago, so we'll try to focus in on that, and we'll just try to move the group forward to be ready to play on Christmas Eve.
Last one, the Bullets. Are they a different proposition now? I know they beat you with a lot of players out.
Yeah.
It seemed like that kicked off a run of form for them.
Yeah, they've played well too, right? Another team that's really found a nice offensive rhythm also. Casey's done an unbelievable job there, the way he shot the ball for him, and that probably started in our game a little bit. And I mean, it's just the home court for us right now too, right? I mean, as we go, I think every team's just thinking like we gotta do what we can to win the next game, because the ladder is just so packed with teams all roughly about the same record. So our focus will just be what we need to do for Brisbane.
That'll do, guys. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.